Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review of Zombieland Saga Revenge. Reviewing, talk about episode 3, the Acoustic Saga of Love and Youth. Now episode 2, which that what episode was mainly about Saki, number 1. Now this one is more on focus on episode more on the character of I, number 3. Now if you remember, she used to be back when she was alive, she was the lead singer of her band called Iron Frill, and while performing live on stage for the audience while was pouring down rain, which why would anyone want to continue singing while it's pouring down rain anyway? But during that performance, she was like out in front of the audience, and all of a sudden she got struck by lightning, and that's how she died. So, but in this episode, this is how more on about I basically. In this episode, Kitaro, okay, he wants Franshushu to perform at the same place where they at the new Saga Arena. Basically, there was the same place I think where they performed before. I think it was, but they want to do as an opening act because I's former band, Iron Frill, has come back to town and to do a performance. So he wants them to do as an opening act for them. But the thing is, which is quite funny. He when all the you know how they have this this particular cell where all the members are sitting and just listening to Kitaro explain what their next plan is, right? Here he comes in. I guess he's kind of acting like, a little bit like Arlie Ermy from Full Metal Jacket. Comes in, screaming like the drill sergeant, right? He's wearing like the military hat. This thing, he's carrying a water gun, spraying them with water, and he's like calling them maggots and get the beep. It's beeped out. Get the beep out of your head and all that stuff. So kind of funny. Well, to me at least, he was kind of like doing an imitation of Arlie Ermy, but of course, no one can do an Arlie Ermy imitation of Full Metal Jacket. 5'9", I didn't know they stack shit that high. I always love that line. But after stuff, he comes in, kind of do a little Arlie Ermy imitation. But he tells about them, about their plan is. But the thing is, though, he does not want I to perform with them. So he wants to want her to do like a solo things, like do a little bit of here and there, to help, still repay from the debt they owe. So, and plus, besides, if she goes with them, she'll most likely be recognized by her former band members. So he doesn't want that either. So that's why he's basically taking her out of the performance, out of the performance basically. So because if their band member sees her, it's like, oh, you look just like her, So, which that kind of happened at the end of this episode. So I'll get to that though. So that's why. So now she wants Junko to take charge and help, because since she has like the more experience than anyone there though, because since she went back when she was alive too, Junko. So while she does like this, so I's out there doing like solo performances, like doing like TV advertisements and guest appearances, right? Trying to earn money for the debt, and they're trying to come up. Rest of Franshushu is trying to come up with ideas, to impress them, because they're going to be an opening act for Iron Frill, so they will make a good impression on them, because otherwise they're going to have a repeat of what they experienced the last time. And while that's going on, Junko, she's just kind of like she's kind of losing a little bit she's a little bit of her self confidence. So one time she goes up on the roof. She does a little guitar singing by herself, which was not bad. The song was not bad. And then Sakura, she goes up there, and funny enough, of course, she slips and then she loses her head. She loses her head, and then they just watch as the rest of her body just falls off the roof. Plop. And then Juko's talking to Sakura's head, like just sitting right next to her. So basically, one thing leads to another. That pardon me. They want to tell I what kind of ideas they can get, right? And then Sakura's body crawls back up the roof and just puts her head back on. And then afterwards, while I was out by herself, she's confronted by of one of her former band members, Shiori, who is currently the lead singer of her band, Iron Frill. She talks to her saying, like I said, don't want to be recognized, but she does. It's like, oh, you kind of look like our former lead singer, she was like the best. I'm trying to do my best to be like her, but there's like no comparison, basically. And then Sakura and Juko, they find her, they see her talking with her, so they're listening in. And then Shiori basically tells to leave Shushu and join Iron Frill. So they hear this, and then of course Juko, she was feeling basically insecure on herself, though. After hearing that, I guess that just further diminishes her spirit, basically. So yeah, this is basically sums up the episode in a nutshell, basically. So this was sorry about the cut there. I cut in the middle of my sentence, but I was saying, yeah, this wasn't this long of it to review talk about, because most of these episodes are just basically straight to the point. I didn't really too much details about it, though, but with Zombieland Saga, because it was quite different, because it's quite different when I reviewed the Yashahime episodes, because there's a lot more because of characters and backstories and more interesting things to talk about with Yashahime, because you're making comparisons to the previous show of Inuyasha and all that. So there was a lot more details and backstories and character stuff, all around, more to talk about. So because it's quite different for me with Zombieland Saga, because it's very simple about, we know more about the characters, how they die and all that stuff, and basically it's about it, and just focusing on not trying to be recognized by some of the people in their former lives, but that's basically it, because it's just very simple enough for the characters. So, but here, and it's like with in the first season, like a couple other band members, like some people in the previous lives recognize them. Oh, they can't be them because they're dead, right? Well, here another person from their, like with one of her former band members recognizes her, but thinking it's not her because she's dead, basically. But it's like, oh, I recognize you. Kind of look familiar. Kind of look like what my former band member was. So yeah. So and basically, which leads to the next episode. That now that Junko overheard that, and she's assumed that she's gonna probably be upset about it, and then how is this gonna affect their performance in the opening act of the on stage? So. Not sure how it's gonna go, though, but I'm sure sometimes, like how it does usually is, how it goes. Oh, they don't feel so sure about themselves, but then by the time it happens, they feel confident and they end up doing a good job, right? I'm sure that's gonna play out, and I'm pretty sure that I is pretty much just gonna say that she's gonna probably say, no, I don't want to do that. I got my own band now, so because after all that, she's not gonna up and leave to join her previous band and just leave her new friends behind. You think that if it does go around, I was like, oh, I'd be totally surprised. Guys, expect they pull off that cliche off. Well, the previous the cliche of, like how, oh, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna ban my friends, like that cliche, right? But if it is a certain twist, I'll be surprised. I like that. So, but I think it's gonna play out like I think it is in the next episode, though. So the next episode called Pure Heart Electric Saga. But I think it was what did I say about this episode? Well, I think it's better than the previous one. Well, there's something I got some funny moments out of it, like with Sakura. All of a sudden, she lost her head, and the rest of her body falls off the roof. Or their manager Kotaro, to me, it looked like he was doing a little Army Full Metal Jacket imitation. Like, oh, you maggots, get the beep out of your head and get the beep or something like that, right? I did get a chuckle at that, so I maybe people want to think he's referencing Army. I don't know, but to me, when I watch it, because watching Full Metal Jacket, I see a little bit of he's like wearing the same like drill hats that all the Army wore. Trying to be as loudmouth as he is, and so I don't know. Maybe this is how my mind thinks. Maybe he's doing an Army imitation. I don't know, but with that, I thought it was kind of funny though. And like I said, with Sakura losing her head, and then just all of a sudden she's talking with just her head sitting right next to Junko, But yeah, Acoustic of Saga of Love and the Saga of Love and Youth. I thought it was another decent episode. So, well, it's already kind of, I can't tell because these episodes have been decent though, so it's hard for me to say which one is better yet. But it's still decent enough though. And, so I'll have to wait for the next episode, so that's episode 3 of Zombieland Saga Revenge. Thanks for watching, stay tuned for the next video, and we'll see y'all later.